Hello and welcome to a not so awesome review. And today we're looking at the Marvel Legends Spider-Ham action figure, part of the Build of Venom figure wave, and it's one of the most underwhelming action figures I've ever messed with, and I freaking love it. So that's my stance points on that figure. It is so underwhelming, it is so disappointing, but I can't help by loving it, and I feel like Hasbro kind of got me on that, and I've seen so many people complain about it. I've seen people tear the figure apart because of how unarticulated it is. And I do agree that it is a very big letdown, but at the same time, just freaking look at it. It is Peter Porker, Spider Ham, and I don't know why they couldn't make his legs move. So, really quick, let's just run through the articulation because there isn't much, and it's gonna be a short video. I'm putting it that way. So his head can move up a little bit, move down a little bit, look left and right, kind of pivot side to side. His arm can move all the way around, move outwards, rotate at the wrist, though it's not the nicest cut. He does have a ball peg right there at the waist, which leans back a lot and leans forward a lot, and it is a lot of gappage. I'm not a person who really complains about gappage too much, but I mean, that is a lot of gappage, but he does have good range in that sense. He does have rotation at the boot, but his legs don't move. And here's the thing. If it wasn't for the fact that we have Rocket Raccoon, I would be like, oh, well, it's a small figure. They're probably still figuring it out. But they've done Rocket Raccoon. They've done a newer one with Articulation. If they can do him, they could have done this. And I don't know. I feel like I understand, Hasbro's kind of stance point being that, okay, well, it's such an obscure character that they're probably never going to make him again. So let's not waste money on a mold for him that we're never going to be able to really use again. The exception with Rocket Raccoon being that every time there's an MCU movie, or even if they just wanted to do a comic book version of him, there you go, they have the body, or retool the body, or fix it up, whatever you want. He's more relevant than Spider-Ham here, who, it's more of a one-off. It's a character we're probably never going to get again, at least for a very, very, very long time, I would imagine. But yeah, it is disappointing that his legs don't move. I've seen people mod different figures together and put legs on him, and it looks pretty cool. So it's not something I'm gonna do. Maybe in the future I'll figure something out, but it is disappointing. It sucks too that the way the wrists are, they don't look great when you turn them. They don't. The same thing with the legs. It's so much surface there that looks weird. The gappage, it's so not good. He does have a whipping hand, no other hand, no punching hand. It would have been nice if at the very least, they had made it so the waist could pop off and we could have different legs. One for him swinging, one for him kicking. That would have at least been cool. It would have been straight molds. They wouldn't have to invest in putting joints or anything like that. That would have been nice. Instead, we get this, which they kind of like fool you in the packaging because he does come with the body for Venom. So, yeah, and he doesn't even want to stand up. He does come with the body for Venom, which makes his packaging regular size, and it makes it look like you're getting a lot. You do also get, if I can move this here, the head for the Venom version. You can see right there, which you can pop onto the new Venom. It's actually made for the new Venom in the sense that it's the glossy black as opposed to the older Venom, which I have right here, and I've actually had the body or the head on that body, and it doesn't match up because he's more matted than glossed up, but it still looks freaking amazing. I love it. I actually really love how that looks on there. I don't remember if you can pop that on to this head or body, I should say. I want to say no, but yeah, I mean, it could sit on there, but it's not really meant to. It doesn't really pop into it, but if you want to sit it on there, you can. Go ahead, feel free. He does have his mouth sculpted on, which I just noticed for the first time, which a good detail on there. The figure itself looks nice. The blue on it is pretty good. The red on it could be better. I don't know, something about it seems a little flat, especially with the webbing throughout it. Just seems not great. You can see that the nose looks good, but I do have a little bit of red paint right there on the eye, which isn't actually red paint. It's, I think, the white of the eye chipping away from it. So I'm probably going to fix that using this model color white paint, which I got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm sure you can look up the brand online. $2.99 though, not the cheapest, but I guess they have that 40% off coupon if you want to do it on $2.99. So I'm actually going to do this right now while I'm filming this, because I mean, otherwise this video will be literally 5 minutes. Nah, we're at 5 minutes, but actually, am I? Did I restart already? I don't know. Doing one drop of paint onto my little, whatchamacallit. Gonna be careful trying not to get the cloth background dirty here. Remember to shake well. This thing needs to mix with itself. It kind of separates in the bottle if it's been sitting around for a while. I do really like these paints. I don't have too many of them, but I've messed with them and they're really good. So that's what I would recommend. That or Citadel, but Citadel seems to dry kind of, I don't know, it feels weird. It's not smooth, I guess is the best way to put it. It's a little weird on the action figures anyway. It doesn't dry the best, though I'm not the greatest customizer when it comes to this kind of customizing. I do other kind of customizing, which I'll probably be uploading videos pretty soon of some of those, but yeah, until then, that's all I got to say about it. So just gonna be a little gentle. It's a little much, but just spread it out. Spread it out. You can see here, it's definitely pretty watery. Get a little bit more. Not too much. Do that. It's covering it, but I want it to spread out a little bit so it doesn't like puddle up or nothing. And I don't know, maybe eventually I might go over the whole eye, because the paint on it is pretty thin. It's not the greatest at all on at least the left, or the right eye, I should say. The left eye is actually, looking at it, it's not perfect. I can see where they missed a little bit, like a straight up line, but for the most part it's 1,000 times better than this one, which looks like they went over it once and then finished. So doing that, want to make sure that that part is covered, and yeah, there you go. It's not the best look, but it'll do, pig. It'll do. So let's get on to some size comparisons and wrap this thing up. So for quick size reference, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Spider-Man and an SH Figuarts Super Saiyan God Goku. You can see he's about half their size, which is, well, yeah, it's small, in case you're wondering. But it's accurate. It's actually really accurate to his character. Again, just underwhelming. I don't know why I said size comparisons. There's really not much else to compare him to. I could compare him to Carnage, but you're going to get the same result here, which is typical of most figures, but I mean, it's Spider-Ham. I think you guys get how he looks just with this. Also, I'm feeling lazy and I don't want to get up and get it. So is this figure worth the $20 retail price of a regular Marvel Legends? Probably not. I know that they're probably trying to justify, hey, you're getting the giant build-a-figure chest piece, which is cool, and it's true. It's two pieces that you snap in together, which makes it look bigger than it is, by the way, packaging-wise. But, I mean, overall size of that figure, he's not as big as Cold Obsidian. Yes, his chest is huge, but size-wise, he's nowhere near as tall. He's a little bit more muscular, but, yeah, you guys were able to do that with those figures and then kind of just cheap out on this one. I understand, again, it's not a body mold they're probably ever going to use again. It is what it is, but at the same time, it could have just, like, accessories. I think I would have been more happy if they had done the chest piece for Venom with somebody else, a regular action figure with no accessories, maybe another one to Spider-Man, that, you know, kind of like how they did House of M or something, one of the cheap generic ones that have no accessories, which are kind of disappointing just because of that fact, and done this as its own pack. I mean, I don't know what you could have given him, but extra legs that are at least, even if you don't want to give us articulated legs, extra legs that don't move to show him in a different pose, maybe a little stand for him so we could have him swinging, maybe a web effect, something, anything. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said, I am happy with this extra head right here. It is cool, but stuff for him would have been nice. I would have loved to see anything else with him. Again, sculpt work and everything, he looks cool, he's freaking awesome, he is one of my favorites of the wave. I love him. I would buy him again Not if I had this one already, but if I didn't already have him and I knew how he was, I would still buy him again. And I bought him knowing the articulation issue just because it's Spider Ham. He's cool. He's awesome. And when are we ever going to get another one again? That's the Mosh Nation. I want to put one out. I would totally buy it. I really would. But anyways, that is my review for the Spider Ham action figure by Hasbro. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If the audio quality went down, I apologize. That's because I just noticed that my microphone's memory card got full. So fun times. But anyways, once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you all later. Yeah, goodbye.